I'm like, hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody.
Welcome to 2024. Can you
Yeah.
believe it? I have with me Misty Lynn today. She's been on before. We have talked about money mindset. That was one of our, I think, most watched episodes. So I'm really excited to have you back today. And if you guys don't know,
Mhm.
Misty and I are hosting a goal setting workshop in Columbus this coming Saturday. So January 6th, and we'll give you more details about that towards the end of this lesson. But today we are going to be talking about the top 3 mistakes to avoid when goal setting.
Yeah.
So, Misty, for those that haven't met you, why don't you give a quick introduction?
Sure. Um, Misty Lynn, I own Core Realty Collection. I've been a full-time real estate agent since 2006. So I've been through the 2008 crash and made it through. So I'm really just here to help other real estate agents and entrepreneurs with their goals and yeah, getting ready for 2024.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, Misty is going to help us. Her focus today, we're going to kind of talk about like get back to the basics, right? On goal setting.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about getting back to the basics because I think, especially during this first year, the first month of the year, we set these goals and then, by February, March, we're like, oh yeah, that goal. So getting back to the basics and setting realistic goals is it's part of the challenge, right? We all have these big dreams and we know that there's steps to take in order to fulfill those dreams. So getting back to the basics, I think, is a good thing for 2024.
So, one of my absolute favorite quotes that you guys have heard me say plenty of times is we overestimate what we can accomplish in a day and we underestimate what we can accomplish in a year. So,
Yes.
we'll talk about that. And, you make these huge, lofty goals, and, it could be achievable if you have the right action steps day after day. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. So,
Yeah.
you guys, thank you all for being here live. If you are here live, go ahead and let us know in the comments what some of your goals for 2024 are. And I have some categories that you can think about. So, it could be a health goal, it could be family, romance, a spiritual goal, maybe
Mhm.
mental health, down to like fun and hobbies. Doesn't have to be so serious and it doesn't have to be business. If you have a social goal, something around your home life, career, business, investing or spending. So
Mhm.
if you have a goal that you want us to kind of help you look at, help you analyze, maybe run through these 3 mistakes, go ahead and throw it in the comments. We would love to hear from you. And one goal that I want to talk about, we're going to talk about an example like mistake by mistake, and we're going to take the same goal and we're going to make it better each time. Okay, so the goal we're going to look at today is I want to buy more rental properties.
Mhm.
I hear that one all the time. I
Yeah.
want to buy more rental properties. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What's
What does
next?
that even mean?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's next? So that's what we're going to take through the process today as we go through these 3 mistakes. Lizzie says get going in her new career. Yes, excited
Mhm.
for that. 2 rentals and pay off some debt. Okay, so uh, let's lead right in. Those are great. Love it, love it, love it. And I think that Lizzie, we're going to be able to help you on this one. So the
Yeah.
first mistake that we see is vague goals, setting something that's too vague. So what
Mhm.
does I want to buy more rentals? Like what does that mean, right? These
Right.
are goals that lack clarity. They're too general. I want to be successful. I want to make more money. And
Mhm.
they lack direction, have the possibility to decrease your motivation. Like if you don't know what you're aiming for and then you're not hitting it, how are you ever going to stay motivated through that
Yeah.
goal, right? And they lower your chance of success because you don't really have like a clear roadmap of where you're going.
Mhm.
So, first
Yeah.
mistake, vague goals. And then how can we make them not vague? So, if you have heard of the SMART goal framework, Throw a emoji in the comments or something. Let us know that you've heard of SMART goals. Misty, I'm sure you're very familiar with SMART goals.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it's an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So specific, the goal should have clear and specific to let you know exactly what you're aiming for. So, to our example, I want to buy more rentals. Well, how many rentals? Should be measurable, should be able to measure the progress and know when you've achieved it. Achievable should be realistic, attainable, and not something too far out of reach. Relevant should be relevant to your broader objectives, aligning with your values and long-term plans. I want to buy more rentals. Well, if you're trying to become a rocket scientist, that's not really going to help you, So you got to know kind of what your higher goal is and then how this fits into it to make it relevant. And then time bound should have a deadline or time frame in which you plan to achieve it. Misty, can you share with us some thoughts you have on making goals less vague?
Yeah. So for me, when I have a goal in mind, you also want to think of, you have that goal in mind, but what is the why of that goal?
Yeah.
Right. So, I want to buy more rentals. Okay. Why? What is that? What is buying more rentals going to do for you?
Yep.
And I think when you really start to break down the goal, that's when you can make that goal achievable, right? So I want to buy more rentals. Well, how many more rentals do you want to buy and why? So after each goal setting, ask yourself why. Why do I want 2 rentals instead of 5 rentals? Oh, I don't think I can achieve 2. Or I don't think I can achieve 5, so I'm only going to go 2. So that's also, playing comfortable and playing small.
Yep.
I think goals should be absolutely obtainable, but you should also stretch your goal. And you will be very surprised at what you can achieve when you focus on the why and make that goal obtainable.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So attainable is a key element in a SMART goal. So if we were to take our same example, I want to buy more rentals, and run it through kind of a SMART framework, and make it less vague, we could have something like, I want to buy 2 additional rental properties by the end of the year. So we're saying 2 additional properties versus 10 or 20. Maybe you don't have any. And is it realistic to come out of the gate saying, I want to buy 10?
Right.
So you want it to be vague, and also that leads us into our second mistake. You want it to be realistic. So goals that are overly ambitious or don't align with one's current capabilities, resources, or time constraints. Like if you have a financial constraint, and is there a high likelihood you're going to buy 10 rentals in your first year?
Right.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
Probably not. I know I definitely did not start out that way, and I'm sure you didn't either.
Yeah, no. And putting those goals, those can discourage you from even getting the first 2. So setting unrealistic goals, it's a deterrent from even, getting the step 1 to step 2 to step 3.
Sure. Yeah, if it's so overwhelming that there's you can't take any action, then that's not a goal that's achievable.
Right.
So we want to make sure that they're realistic. The consequences, if it's something unrealistic, demotivation, burnout, frustration, we see that all the time. That often follow when goals are set too high, and then of course they're not met. So things like, I want to double my income in a month. That'd be cool. Probably not going to happen. So, I want to increase my income by 15% in the next quarter. That's realistic, and it's challenging, kind of like Misty talked about, like a stretch goal. So you can make it stretch, but also still realistic.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let's hit on mistake number 3. is a lack of a plan. So not having a detailed plan on how you get there. You can say you have the goal. You can it can be smart, specific, achievable, time bound, all that. But if you don't have a plan to get there, it's not going to do you any good. So the way that we kind of look at that, the actual plan behind the goal is, have you heard of the rocks, pebbles, and sand goal setting kind of concept?
I have not.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So there's a little video we can post in the comments, but the idea is that you have a jar, and then if you were to first put in your sand and then your pebbles and then try to shove the rocks in the top, it's not all going to fit, right? You have a set amount of financial resources, a set amount of time, just like everyone else has. And these are your constraints. But if you reverse it and you take the things that are the most important and you put them in first, so if you put the rocks in and then you put the pebbles in and they fall around the rocks, and then you put the sand in and it falls through all the cracks and fills in the gaps. So now all of a sudden your pebbles, rocks, everything fits. Whereas if you try to put the small stuff in first, it's not going to fit, right?
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah, so that's like how I do all of our goal setting. I start with the rocks. Your rocks are kind of your most critical objectives. Then I fit in my pebbles, and these are like the, monthly roles and responsibilities. And then we fit in the sand, which is the minor daily tasks and the to-do list there.
Yeah.
And you kind of build from like the big stuff down to the small stuff.
Yeah, that totally, I mean, and that's a good analogy too, because you can visualize that, right? I can visualize all of that not fitting. So yeah, definitely think about that when you're making your goals and trying to achieve them.
Yeah. So if we're looking at our same goal, I want to buy more rentals. If it's too vague, so we could say, I want to buy 2 additional rental properties by the end of this year. Okay. So could that, maybe you said I want to buy 10. So that's not realistic. So let's make it realistic. I want to buy 2 additional rental properties by the end of the year with a $300 a month cash flow. Okay. That's something realistic that could happen. And then through mistake number 3, lack of a plan, we could take it to, I want to buy 2 additional rental properties with $300 a month cash flow by the end of the year. To achieve this, I will underwrite 3 deals per week, improve my credit score by March, line up private money by July, and start making offers in August, right? So by August to the end of the year, you're going to hit your 2 properties. And now you have like I want to buy more rentals, all the way down to an action plan on what you need to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to hit those goals.
Yeah, and that's a clear vision, right? That's a step-by-step plan of how to get to that space to achieve your goal. Yeah.
Exactly right. So I know Lizzie's on here, so she wants to pay off debt. So, I mean, obviously don't tell us anything about your debt or finances or anything like that, but like, could you take that further? Could you say the amount of debt that you need, by what timeline? How are you going to do it? Like, where is that money coming from to pay down the debt? Is it something you save on a weekly basis? Is it something you save on a monthly basis? So you could take that same goal and run it through the mistakes and get something that's like much more realistic to accomplish.
I think it's helpful too to take, so let's say you take debt, right? Let's say there's $80,000 worth of debt. And if you chunk it out, so first quarter, I want to pay at least 20,000 off. So chunk it out to however much debt you have. And that again makes it more realistic. Looking at the big picture, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm never going to achieve this, so why even try it? When you chunk it down to pay in increments of that, it really helps also put things in perspective.
Yes. Yeah, exactly right. And it could even be something daily. If you know that, maybe it's a smaller amount and you know that you need to save $25 a day to get there.
Yep.
Can you set up something in your automatic banking that literally pulls out $25 a day, and maybe it's on a month, weekly basis, but it pulls out exactly what you need, and then you don't have that money to spend. So you're going to pay that goal. You're going to pay that debt off and hit your goal.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, Lizzie, thank you so much for sharing that one with us. I hope to help you achieve it in every single way that I can. So to recap, our mistakes: we see vague goals, unrealistic expectations, and a lack of a plan. We took our examples. I want to buy more rentals. We broke it down. And if this is something that you guys are interested in doing on a, more formal basis, kind of like I mentioned in the beginning of this webinar, is that Misty and I are hosting a 4-hour, it's a full half day goal setting workshop. It's at District West this coming Saturday. So today's the 2nd. It's on Saturday the 6th. And we'll be going through a huge workbook with these concepts, but so much more. You will walk in with all these ideas swirling in your head, and walk out with a concrete plan on what you need to do yearly, quarterly, monthly, and daily to hit those goals.
Yeah, it should definitely be a really good day, a fun day too. And we'll provide, lunch and drinks will be there as well.
Yep.
So, feel free to bring your team. I've had a couple questions of, bringing teams or multiple people. So bring as many people as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the more accountability you have with those people in your life, the more likely you are to hit those goals, because you have like mutual buy-in, and, just when more people are involved, it's easier to stay motivated.
Yep, absolutely. Bring your accountability partner for sure.
Yeah, definitely. A spouse, a business partner, admin, team member, whoever it is, would love to have them. We have one ticket is $30 and 2 for $50. So really, honestly, it's just to cover the kind of cost of food and drinks. And so we're excited. We have some sponsors. We have Wayne Bailey Contracting Services, who is the GC that we've used for years and years. And then we also have Upright, who's a hard money lender, local, but also across a couple different states. So
formerly known as Fund That Flip.
Yeah, formerly Fund That Flip. Yep, couple sponsors. And so we're just going to have a really good time. And you guys, if you can't make it, I hope that this framework has been really helpful to help you sit down and set your own personal goals.
Yes, absolutely.
Anything else to add?
No, I just hope that you all can make Saturday for sure. I know Jessie and her team put a lot of effort into making this day successful, and we'll have, plenty of space. So we just want to fill the room and make it successful for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
All righty.
So, okay.
Well, thank you all. And excited to kick off this year.
Yeah. All right. Happy 2024.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.